Unprecedented times on the stock market. Now we are in a huge health crisis, and therefore, the stock market is going in one direction. This is down, though there's one stock that came out of this just recently, and this is Tesla stock. Now Tesla stock is one of the craziest stocks on the stock market, at least the last couple of months. Now let's see, the last bottom was around 18th of March, when the Tesla stock went down to $355. Since then the stock went up 54% as of this recording, and today we are talking about why this happened and what it has to do with FOMO, what means FOMO, and many more things, where this Tesla stock is heading, and therefore stay tuned. Let's dive in.
Wolf of Dubai.
So before diving in where we are heading or why there is such a rebound for the Tesla stock, let's have a quick look where we are coming from. Because if you are watching this channel since the summer, you know that we were buying this stock very heavily throughout the summer, throughout the year of 2019, and had a lot of fun with the stock until recently, obviously, when the whole market melted. Now, if we're looking to the Tesla stock, the May of 2019 was around very low prices for the Tesla stock. Obviously, with 178 was one of the prices where I thought, hey, this is really cheap. Now, however, we went up until about 19th of February and gained 373% on the Tesla stock. And this was because of a couple of things. First, we figured out how to build the Model 3 in scale. We built a couple of new production facilities around the world and are still building, and we released a new model, and we went a couple of profitable quarters. This is just some of the major points of milestones that we went through as Tesla investors. And obviously, I'm a very convinced Tesla investor. However, in the recent turmoil, I sold a little bit just to be sure how everything plays out, and to see how maybe I can buy some stocks later on the cheaper price. However, you never can time that, so I cannot recommend this to everybody. This is something that is just something that you can do out of luck, but definitely the mindset for Tesla investors should be long-term. This is a long-term investment story, and since then, so if you're looking into the recent graph of the last 3 months, then you see since the mid of February, then we lost within 1 month 60% of value. And obviously this is something that really hurts, and this is something that is normal. I know this word is in this situation maybe not the right one, but what is normal in these days? Apparently nothing. But if we are looking into such a decline in Tesla stock, it's just normal for a stock that went up almost 400% to drop 60% in a turmoil when the whole market is melting. Now, however, Tesla obviously, could bounce back from the recent lows, which was 355, and is now somewhere around 546, which is an increase of 55%. And this is obviously beautiful for those who hold on those stocks and maybe even could add to those stocks during this crisis. And now let's talk about why all this happened. Now, obviously, this reason of such a bounce back, and I said it in one of my other videos, so make sure to subscribe and like, and obviously ring the bell to not miss any of my future videos about Tesla and other stock and the stock market in general. I'm vlogging every single day. However, if such a stock that just went up so high drops so much in such a short time, it's something that I would consider falls in the category of FOMO. FOMO is fear of missing out. Something like this is experienced if a stock goes very high. We have seen similar effects in other asset classes, like for example Bitcoin. Bitcoin had also a lot of people that saw Tesla stock and said, hey, I need to be part of this party, guys, so I will jump in whatever the price is, because I know another guy will buy the Tesla stock even higher than me, and maybe I can even sell it on those highs. I even read a couple of tweets that people bought at 178 and sold at 968, which was the highest that Tesla ever went up to. And this was obviously a perfect trade, the perfect trade to get the lowest price and to sell it. And this in just a couple of months is obviously beautiful and it's a dream for every investor. However, this is something like a lottery win, and is unrealistic to predict at all. And therefore I can just apply this logic and advice to you guys. Don't try to time the market, because this is impossible. We just had now 2 amazing days after each other, which didn't happen since the 11th and 12th of February. So 1 month, more than 1 month, 1.5 months actually, that we didn't had 2 days after each other then went up. So it can be with high probability that the market goes down again, so Tesla can go further down and maybe even to 350. However, an advice that I can give you is if you see the price going lower, like 350, 300, 250, just buy and hold it for a very, very long time. A couple of years is the optimal holding time for Tesla, because there's so many interesting things upcoming for this company. But however, just concluding the point of FOMO, so obviously then people, even non-Tesla investors, seeing this opportunity and say, hey, I want to be part of this. I missed it the first time, I definitely don't want to miss it the second time. And therefore I believe that the reason that Tesla went back up so fast in a couple of days actually, then this is something that is called FOMO, and people that are holding Tesla bought more, and even investors that missed the first couple of months gaining in the 2019 period and 2020 period now saw the chance at 350 levels. Guys, this is really an opportunity. This stock was just a couple of weeks ago at 900, so triple almost that amount, and obviously this was something that people jumped on it. Now finally, let's speak about what's happening next for Tesla. Obviously we have seen that the factory or the manufacturing section of Tesla is closing down or repurposed for ventilators. The first ventilators that Elon Musk could procure in China are already arrived in the US, which is beautiful. And I believe this is not only a humanitarian beautiful thing, but also this is something that I think that is a great advertising or marketing for Tesla, free PR, obviously, if companies can move forward. And I believe in those timings, companies that have capabilities that free up should use them to help to overcome this crisis as soon as possible. Now obviously what will be very interesting will be the 22nd April of 2020, because this will be the quarter earnings 1 of 2020, and obviously this quarter is not even the strongest, even the worst quarter for the auto industry, because people are not buying so many cars because they bought it already end of the year, a lot of dealers and companies having some specials, some credits, tax credits got expired. So therefore the months of January, February and March are very weak for the car industry. And the question with Tesla before this all happened was, will they can still be profitable with the manufacturing rolling on in China and the Model Y and many more stuff that, for example, went out of surprise with 1,000 roofs capacity per week for the solar glass. And unfortunately this event came up and closed the factory since now a couple of days, and this will be a quite big effect on the Tesla outcome. Obviously, I don't know how the market will react on that, because obviously now everybody is adjusting to that. A lot of companies are starting to stop and withdraw their guidance for this year, and even don't give a new guidance because they don't know how everything develop. And therefore, I believe that this can be a quarter that Tesla will be very much hurt financially. However, I still believe that the Tesla have a strong enough balance sheet that they can survive this kind of turmoil. I hope this can be solved as soon as possible so we can go to new highs. I can't wait until Tesla will be back to 1,000 and above. I can guarantee you almost that we will reach those levels again. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, maybe just in 2 or 3 years, but we will be there, and then we will celebrate that. You heard it here since the summer of 2019. I'm telling you, this stock is going really, really beyond anything, and I believe this kind of opportunities, you have just a couple in your lifetimes, and therefore, be happy that the stock went down. And I think let's see how the next days and weeks will be. Definitely not funny for those who are sensible to price changes or quick price changes and volatility. Use it for you the best. However you are positioning, either as a long-term investor, as a short-term investor, I think low prices for the Tesla stock is always an opportunity, and therefore enjoy the ride and fasten your seatbelt, because we are going ludicrous mode.